Alright, today we are going to do Foundation DLC. I took a little bit of time beforehand to go through mods and such. I didn't really switch out my personal mods, I like them the way they are. There were a couple that I might switch out the launch energy cost for, maybe. But for the most part, I'm not like... I've done well enough so far with them as they are. I don't feel the need to switch anything there. With the weapon mods, I don't think I changed anything on grip. I would like faster reload speed, but I just haven't been getting any reload speed mods that are higher than level 3. Charge, I changed this one out so the projectile speed is super fast. Pierce, I took off one of the damage while aiming to put on this shot charge time, so basically there is no charge time. I just hold it down and it's ready to go. So we'll see how much I like that. And Shatter, put this one on so there basically isn't spread. I don't use Shatter enough to be able to tell how much I would like this or dislike it, but I am going to try, if I remember, I'm going to try and switch out my weapons a little bit more while going through this DLC, but knowing me, I'll probably just go back to grip and pierce as usual. Spin, I think I did this one, faster rate of fire, and then weapon damage. I did switch out this one since it is exclusive to spin, so I want to try it out. The only thing is I haven't actually tested it on any enemies. I just went outside of the executive or central executive and tried out some of the guns, and the thing with spin is the ammo goes so fast, and I feel like it takes a little bit longer to recharge than it does to spend it. So I don't know that I like that. And then I have Surge on. I guess I didn't realize before that if I stopped aiming and then hit the R2, which is the option to shoot, then it would just detonate the grenades automatically. So in that sense, it is a lot more useful than what I thought before, which was that I either had to wait for it to detonate on its own or I had to shoot it to blow it up. And I can also throw stuff at it to blow it up, so it's a lot more useful than I thought it was. I did upgrade it, but I'm missing like 2 resources in order to get it to the 3rd upgrade, and I don't know that we'll be finding them in this upcoming DLC. And if not, it's okay. Like I said, I'm probably just gonna end up going back to Pierce anyway. Surge fires. I was also looking at the achievements because I almost platinumed base game. I think there's only 2 things that I don't have. One of them is doing 5 of those timed missions, but since I don't really care about those, I haven't done them. And another one, I forget what it was, but I think I was halfway through with it. I was looking at the AWE one, and one of them was you can put the surge, you can put the shots onto an object and then throw that object and kill enemies that way. So that could be an interesting thing to try out. And
Pope wants a full physical examination of Dylan Faden, specifically looking for any physiological abnormalities.
Abnormalities? Does she think the hiss is still inside him?
She wants to rule it out entirely before we move on with our analysis. She's determined to learn how he survived the cleansing process.
that's probably something we'll learn about in the next game. There was something, I think there was something in here too that I wanted to look at before starting the DLC.
Pope is now head of research. It's official.
Head of research? When was the review process? Why weren't we consulted?
Calm down. It's pretty clear she earned it.
I guess I wouldn't feel, or like I don't blame him for feeling a little bit put off by it. There's supposed to be a process and it wasn't followed. It could be a little frustrating. Where is it?
And fast.
Oh, over here. So I was editing some videos from like more towards the beginning of the game, and I'd seen these pictures before, but I didn't know what they were, aside from seeing the board. But this one in the center, that's Former. So the astronauts have seen Former before, but I don't remember if we have... I don't remember if there's any like documentation talking about Former or saying, oh yeah, we saw this weird squid thing out in the astral plane. But I think Langston was like surprised to learn about it, so I don't think, if it was recorded, it's not widely known by the board. Or not the board, the Bureau.
Hi, Jesse.
Yeah, nothing else there.
Well, I've got a bureau to run. See you soon. Yes, ma'am, Director Faden. Please, Emily. Not even as a joke.
I don't think we got any outfits from AWE, right? Right. Nothing new there, so I'll just stick with this. Talk to the board. I have to go to the hotline chambers. Which way is it to the director's office?
Stop by any time.
This way. Arish also didn't have anything new to say. I checked earlier. Wait, wasn't there another door? Like, a closer one?
I heard Hope was promoted. Head of research.
What? The director's just handing out promotions?
I guess you better get in there.
I mean, I guess there was nobody else available for the job. Yeah, I've also been having, like, I started up the game today and the controller issue has been going really bad. So we'll be having to deal with that for a couple hours maybe.
Even if it was a dream, I feel Darling reached out to me through the hotline. I have a feeling he and Trench won't be the only callers from the beyond.
Uh-oh.
Problem in the Foundation. That was Auti's vacation spot. We need to check this out.
Speaking of the tree thing, also when I was doing editing, there was a letter. I don't remember the name, so I can't find it now. But it was the one where, like, you find it in the quarry, and I think it was where all the mold monsters were. It was basically a worker saying to one of her coworkers, like, hey, I saw your husband come up. He's been missing for 2 weeks and you look like shit. He was talking about carvings in a tree or something, and then security or whatever it was took him away, and I don't think we're gonna see him again.
How are you?
So basically, what I think happened is the guy got into the restricted area and he saw the Foundation, but I don't know that he got farther than that. So we will go straight to the restricted area. Foundation.
quiet. Trans-dimensional. This place really suits Ahti. So that etching is the door. Okay, let's try opening it. No time for sightseeing. The board said this was an emergency.
Can't see anything anyway, so no problem there. Research Site Gamma. Say anything else? Federal Bureau of Control, Department of... What does that say? It's so dark. Whatever. It's something
no one's
security.
been down here in a while. Crystals are kind of pretty. Emily would be having a field day down here.
I know there was something to interact with. I just want to look around here for a second.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something else. The floors crawl, the walls slither. It's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does. How do we miss it? Northmore. Acting director in Northmore now is on a train from Washington. He'll expect answers, which is why I'm making these tapes. They're evidence that I'm at least trying to understand. Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course, Father, the great director, Ash, would have been the first man in. And look at me, his bookworm son. The supposed head of research who can't stop his legs from shaking long enough to step over the threshold.
Right, so this guy was the head of research just before Darling was. I don't know much more about him other than that. Deep Cavern. Department of Workplace Security. Can I crouch under here? Not really. What do I do about this then? Whoops. That's what I get. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go. Can't can't, like, leave out through here, can I? No, it's a wall. Oh, okay. Right. Wait, I'm sorry. Which way did it come from? Which way did it come from? This way. I came from this way, so... Research Site Delta.
The Foundation. Bottom of the oldest house. Stop the hiss.
Marshall? How was she on the hotline? Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
So now we're gonna get answers to where Marshall went after, like, the first half of the game. I feel like I hear something.
So the hiss found their way down
That way. This way looks like a dead end, so we can start here first. Ah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I'm not really moving upward. Oops. Nope. There we go. Yeah, I can't get up there right now. I think maybe I'm supposed to get some kind of power to control crystals, because otherwise there's no way I can get that box at the beginning. Delta. Are you gonna do it again? Okay. Oops. Oh, yeah. I need to go to the hotline and see what Marshall said.
I only heard of the Foundation when I became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only. Just the name alone is classified. Zachariah gave me a tour the day I was promoted. Said I should see it for myself, to understand. After that, I snuck down on my own from time to time to keep tabs on the place. And on them. But nothing ever changed down there. Not even the walls. It's solid, permanent, different from the rest of the house. Of course, they were always watching me. I never stayed long. I'm not stupid. I have to stop the hiss from finding this place. I'm the only one who can.
Then she came down here. Something happened. Do they follow her here, maybe? Deep cavern. Where are we again, Delta? It's very open space. We've been indoors so much that it is kind of weird to feel like we're outside. Kind of similar to the quarry, too. Delta. Wow, this is really big. Cave paintings, compiled by Dr. Theodore Ashe, head of research, by order of Director Broderick Northmore. On Art and Time. At first I thought the cave paintings in the Foundation chronicled ancient humans' encounters with natural occurrences like weather, but it soon became clear they depicted events far outside the average human experience. Also, it seems I was wrong to assume the images are ancient. Radiocarbon dating suggests something impossible, that I've been down here longer than the paintings. That's absurd, though. The style and medium clearly indicate a Paleolithic origin. I was ready to conclude that an ancient community of humans lived in or around the oldest house. Now, with this information, I don't know what to think. Is one of our agents drawing these, or is there someone down here with us? This place has the habit of skewing my results, so perhaps the data is corrupted. Or perhaps some paintings were created at different times. The art does seem to chronicle not only the past, but also the present and possibly even the future. I see in them echoes of the board, some linear architecture, even what could be interpreted as a director. Are the paintings telling a story that's still being written? If so, who is writing it? So I guess we should look out for those. I don't see any here. Yet. There's something with this box. Okay, I see 3 boxes. Is this gonna be some strange puzzle? Whoa. Oh. These miners? That was way closer than I needed to be. Hang on. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time.
Guess we're using pickaxes now.
Yeah, I keep messing up all the buttons. I don't know why, because I haven't actually played anything on my... You know what, now that I say that, I have played something else on my controller. So that's probably why I'm getting everything wrong. Because I have the wrong controls in my head. Do I want to... I think I will switch out Surge. Shatter, maybe? Just while I'm getting used to these new enemies. Although I'm sure Surge would actually have worked decently well if I didn't try to aim it at them. I kind of put it in places that they would come through, like choke points. that's for another time. So yeah, I haven't seen any other box. Never mind, I see one up there.
Those structures. Is that the astral plane? How is that possible? This is worse than I thought. The need to figure out what's going on.
Relocation order. Tom, you missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called an all-hands at the crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of this hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau Brass apparently solved the moving walls problem, or at least figured out a way to pinpoint where and when they happen. All I know is going up means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches with that ex-Nazi scientist, and goodbye pissing into the pit. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore is ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is bad if he thinks we want to stay here and sift through more sand for him. It's just rusted iron flakes anyway. Did you know that? We were breathing that shit in. So, they first found the Bureau, or not the Bureau, the oldest house. But the oldest house kept shifting and they couldn't make stable offices. So they also found Foundation and found out that it was a very stable location. So they moved all of their work stuff here. And they just kind of had to sit here until like research or whoever was able to find a solution to the shifting walls problem. Ex-Nazi scientist. I don't know who they're referring to with that. It's kind of funny, them mentioning the sand, because when I first saw the red sand, it made me think of Darling and what is it called again? Dimensional Research. And there was like a notice or something that said don't mess with the sand, even though we know it gets everywhere and it's annoying to work with, but Darling said don't mess with the sand, so we gotta follow his orders. So here again, it's like head of research is I don't think he probably doesn't have anything to do with the sand, or he doesn't have any obsession with the sand, or special interest in it, but it's like it's associated with the head of research again. His sharpened agents display the periutilitarian ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it is not associated with any known object of power. However, we should not discount the possibility that this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation, APR, could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effect. Other explanations of the His Sharpen's ability currently include momentary time manipulation, brief increase in physical speed, inhibiting the witness's sense of sight. If we do accept that the His Sharpen's ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the His are either manifesting unique paranatural abilities, or there are objects in the house that we aren't aware of. Either way, the His are continuing to develop new strains of corruption, and that is cause for concern. Refer to file redacted for full report. Okay, I see a box up there, but it's too high for me to reach for now. Are there going to be as many boxes as there were squares on that grid? Crossroads. Beware of toxic geysers. Yeah, that's just a light. Let's go this way. Another one of these things that I can't get across. Foundation accident. To H. Wilder from M. Talbot. Subject, contractor issue. Mr. Wilder, I have some bad news. You remember that Robert Ricardo fellow we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Well, today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls and a strange black pillar in the center. Kinda looks like the one at the crossroads, but smaller. We had a bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guest. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's exploring days are over. I know we were careful to limit this guy's exposure to the non-ordinary. Drugging him and carrying him through the upper floor was a real hoot, by the way. But we really need to reevaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd be better off forming a special division trained in repelling and orienteering, rather than subjecting more outsiders to the shit we deal with. They almost always end up dead or loony. Marcus. And I guess, is that what the Rangers were? Gosh, I forget the different designations. Because there was Marshall's team. Marshall was Rangers, maybe? Right, because Arish is kind of like security, but he's not going out. He's like internal security. Maybe... I just know that Arish was kind of like he was working to become what Marshall's team was, and then he stepped away from that to be more on the side of maintenance. And then you also have the astronauts, but those are more of a special thing. I don't think you could really get a contractor for those things, but exploring and stuff is something that you could find. You know, it's not like you could find it outside of the oldest house. It's not specific to what the Bureau does. But there's so much confidential stuff. Things that those people aren't necessarily trained on, and maybe they can't be fully trained because so much of it is confidential that, like he said, it becomes kind of a liability in some ways and just too dangerous to continue contracting people from outside of the Bureau. Shifting fragment. That's what I need to do the last upgrade for the mods. And I think that's kind of it. I don't know if there's anything else I need that for.
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension. What if this happens in the upper floors? It'll destroy the Bureau.
That's one of those training dummies, right? I need to be way closer. I like that the shield is different because we're in a different environment. Like normally I think the shield is very, I don't know if it'll do here, no it won't, but normally it's very blocky because we're pulling materials from the oldest house, but here it's more like normal stones because this place is a little bit more organic.
I wish I'd brought Emily with me. I could really use my head of research right about now.
I noticed that Polaris said something or reacted to that.
Marshall! You're alive! Wait! It's Jesse! The director! Whoa. This place is huge. Marshall? Can you hear me? She was on the hotline, so that person couldn't have been Marshall, right? One problem at a time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
The nail. Right, it can't be Marshall unless there's some weird time stuff going on. Like how Ash said that the cave paintings were here, or they were completed after he arrived in this area. So maybe if that is Marshall, it's her from an earlier time, because there's just a bunch of weirdness going on. Did they lock me? No, I came from that way, didn't I? Canyon room.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ranted about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Oh, we don't even know the rules.
Sounds like Northmore's always kind of been power hungry. Base camp. Well, there isn't really much here. Let me look around a little bit more first. I don't think there's much more to this area, but I still want to take a look. Warning, unstable area, watch for shifting. Is there any reason to go down that way? Looks kind of like a ramp, like these are stairs almost. These are paintings. Okay. So I see the board and people. Then that looks like former. Difficult to try and give any kind of interpretation to this because, one, it's kind of difficult for me to make out the shapes fully, and two, there isn't a ton going on here action-wise. But I guess it's kind of like the board is up top, the people are in the middle, and then former is below all of them. Also a lot of handprints over here. Ley lines. Bow by Ash by order of Northmore. On ley lines and their energies. For all my research into the oldest house ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here, at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet, attracting them, polar north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies, a sprout, nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power? Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be. So that's the guy that used to be a Nazi. Astral copy, compiled by Emily by order of me. Field research on the astral entity, astral copy. With the astral plane now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. The copies' bodies are composed of dense stone-like material that is both resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. See Report 811-1633 for full composition analysis. Whether the astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by a higher intelligence, such as the board, remains unknown. However, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Dr. Faden's encounters with these entities when binding objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential para-utilitarians to practice on. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It is important to note that they appear immune to his corruption. Refer to file redacted for full report. Foundation pillar, compiled by Ash by order of nobody. On the nature of the pillar. The pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house or an intrusion within that heart. Or perhaps it's like the husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. Okay. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. do not like calling it a demonic phallus.